wealth creation is important, and that is what our clubs need, because they need cash to run the club, so that we would get to the very highest standards of African football. And that is what we are all praying for and supporting the Ghana Football Association to ensure that football in this country will rise and get to the standard that it deserves. And I'm sure together we will achieve this. Hello and welcome to Star Times and Max TV's coverage of the Ghana Premier League. Match day 26, we are looking at wrapping up today at the Accra Sports Stadium, where Accra Lions will be coming up against Bibiani GoldStars. That is the final fixture in match day 26, and this promises to be a very, very cagey encounter. My name is Mutale Yakubu. I've been joined by two of my colleagues. You'll be hearing from them shortly, Nanedu and of course Josiah Okokwe. But this is the game that we are looking forward to. Accra Lions against Bibiani GoldStars. This promises to be a very, very cagey encounter, with about 8 games done already in match day 26. Let's go through all the results again. We started on Saturday, where Heart of Folk had to come from a goal down to get a 3-1 victory over Karela United, and Adriana also pipped Heart of Lions by a goal to nil at the Nana Ajima Bedu Park. Then Bechem United at the Nana Fosuji Abo Park had a very tough time against the Real Tamale United, but they managed to win the game by 3-2. Dreams FC beating Asante Kotoko yesterday at the Dewu Theatre of Dreams. Sylvester Simba among the goal scorers. We'll be talking about that game. Midiama also beat Legon Cities by a goal to nil, with Nations FC being held to a 2-2 draw by Bofo Akwatano at the Dr. Kwame Sports Complex. Then Inswaterman also drew with Great Olympics at the Inswatre Park. Then it was Samatex that had to do it the hard way against Brekum Chelsea, but they managed to win by 3-2. So that is good for them. They extend the lead at the top of the Premier League table. But today, this afternoon at 3 p.m., it is Accra Lions who will be facing inform Bibiani GoldStars. Let's see how that one will go. You're welcome once again to Star Times and Max TV, and we'll be delving deep into all the games that have been played, and also preview the game that is coming up, that is the Accra Lions, and of course that Bibiani GoldStars. But Josiah is here, and of course Nanedu is also here. Let's start off with what has happened so far. Match day 26, we started on Saturday, where Heart of Folk had to come from a goal down to defeat Karela. Wasteful Heart of Folk, that is what I would say that they do, but they managed to get the 3 points, which is the most important.
Yeah, that is the most important thing. After some time, you can see Heart of Folk were struggling to win games. Both home games and away games in Ghana almost struggled to win games in the Ghana Premier League. So it was good the team came back to the Accra Sports Stadium, picking a win over Karela. I think Karela by Premier League, Heart of Folk struggled to beat them at the Accra Sports Stadium. So you can see the last 2 seasons, it's been draw games at Accra Sports Stadium. So for House of Folk to get a 3-1 win, especially from a goal down to win the game by 3-1, is a massive result for them. The best second half I've seen in recent times for House of Folk.
But they were wasteful, with a lot of chances coming their way.
Obviously, before team will score like 3 goals, obviously, Obe may see a lot of chances. And Obe say Hamza Issa on the day should have scored about 4 or 5 goals in the day. But he ended up scoring only 2 goals. It tells you that 2 teams in here were doing something right in terms of defensive shape. So that is why House of Folk couldn't score that number of goals in the game. But they had a good game right from the start. In their previous games, they were struggling to win games, not more struggle. So the coach will have to do some changes within the team. Michael Ampedu was struggling to enter into the first 11 under Abubakar Ouattara. He's the only player in the first round. He played all the games for House of Folk.
Michael Ampedu.
Yes.
May no issue, but I know you're back later.
Yes. But in the second round,
he's stolen my nickname, but you're back later. He responded on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
We have my nickname. Diana, you're different. We come as no. She say we fat on. That me bobo no. We fat on. Also, I won't be some permission, but I will discuss that with him later. He has to see me in court.
Obviously. Also, the Onyafa Maswara so you will be huno. So in the second half, we will say na changes as Michael Ampedu, after playing all the first round games for House of Folk, second round, if you took that particular position. Dennis Kwasa, was playing the left back position, but the last 2 games, because of the red card he got in their previous games, Lebatu Sata and Michael Ampedu was playing from the left side of the defense. Central defense, there has been Winnie Me, and of course, Kofi Abusima. Medford, so it was Glade Otanga, and of course Linda Intange. This time round, no, Salim Adams went to the bench.
Yeah.
Salif Ibrahim went to the bench. So Emma coach no opportunity to start Martin Kakari and some of these players in the team. So when they brought in those players in the second, especially our Mankwabefi and Salim Adams, it changed a lot of things in the House of Folk team in the second half. That is why ended up scoring that 3 goals in the second half. So it's a good result for Abubakar Ouattara, and I think I'm happy for the team coming back into winning ways in the Premier League.
Jose, on Saturday, clearly you could see the Achilles heel for Hearts of Oak this season has not just been their goalkeeping department, but up front as well. They've been very wasteful, and they were lucky that amongst all the wasteful nature, they were able to get 3 goals. And Salim scoring a belter, something that could contend for goal of the season.
Yeah, Mutala, I think that game on Saturday against Kerala really, highlighted some of the problems for Hearts of Oak. Some of these problems, you'd say, has been lingering for quite some time now. But then that strike from Salim Adams, what a strike that was. That was a bullet, of a strike, and there was no way the goalkeeper was saving that.
Save these.
No, there was no way he was saving that, and it was just miles away from the goalkeeper. Yeah, he attempted to have saved that, or he attempted to save that, but then there was no way he was going to save that. He knew definitely, and with these kind of shots, you just only need to direct it, on target. You hit it with some amount of venom, but then you hope that it goes on target, because once it's on target, there's no way the goalkeeper is going to save it. But in talking about Hearts of Oak and their issues this season, I think they've had a lot of issues. Even under coach Martinos Koopman, we all saw how good they were whenever they played. But then one of their biggest issues was the fact that they were not scoring goals. And under Koopman, the only time they scored 3 goals in the game was when they played against Mediama. And in that game, everyone thought, see, Hearts of Oak are back. They are back with a bang. They are back with something new. Then until they played the next game and they were not able to replicate that form against Mediama. In that Mediama game, you say it was a game of just the first half for Hearts of Oak. But then in this game, it was a game of 2 halves, which they dominated from start to finish. They created numerous chances. And you be asking, if you're a Hearts of Oak fan, that found yourself at the stadium on Saturday, you'd be asking how they couldn't put 6 at least past this very, very poor Kerala side on the day.
And on the day, goalkeeper Karim did not cover himself in glory, making one mistake after the other. That was the 3rd goal that Hearts of Oak scored. That young man, Hamza Issa, he has been the revelation of the season for Hearts of Oak.
And after the game, that 90th minute, time I'm watching the ball now, I remember the 2 players for Hearts of Oak, Salim Adams and Salif Ibrahim. It was on a good day, dead ball situation. It's either Salim Adams or Salif Ibrahim. But they all went, gave the ball to Hamza Issa to score. So they were an 11th goal, because at that time, now a few years Asamoah was on top with 10 goals. So if Hamza Issa set that particular goal, now he moved to 11 goals until Amankura scored 2 goals during the weekend, and they were better 12 goals in the Ghana Premier League. So Hamza Issa was vying for the goal king, and I don't remember the last time Hearts of Oak player won the goal king. I think the last time was Martin Motu.
Yeah.
After Ismailado doing it back to back on 3 occasions, we saw Charles Taylor and Bernard Bote doing it the same season. I said the same number of goals at Omodeji goal king in the Ghana Premier League. After that, Mahatma Motu took over as the goal king in the Ghana Premier League. Since then, no Hearts of Oak striker has won the goal king.
And this Mahatma Motu issue was around 2011.
Also came in.
Yeah, it was around 2011.
Yes, yeah. So it's been Ismailado, Dombote, Charles Taylor, Prince Tegu. He came to Mahatma Motu. Since then, no Hearts of Oak striker that maybe need a goal king. So you need to help your player. Now I said 10 goals at that time. With the penalty shooter, and so man making sure they increasing the tally on the league. And most of the times, assurance goal you can give it to the next player. You remember somewhere in 2010, 2011, that famous Chelsea game against Wigan.
It was 2010. Carlo Ancelotti's era. That Drogba Lampard scuffle.
It was over Drogba when he really vying for the goal king, and Drogba needed to score that penalty to make sure they increasing the tally. But Lampard felt like, let me get the assurance goal before I give that responsibility to a DJ Drogba. So it happens in football. So I'm happy those players went in and give them.
It happens. I've seen Lionel Messi actually give the ball a couple of times to Luis Suarez to
remember
score.
Those period, about 7-8 seasons. In the Spanish La Liga, it's all about Ronaldo and Messi. So for a player to break those two players,
to win the Pichichi,
absolutely,
that is huge. But you are at the stadium, Nanedu. What was the conversation like after the game? How to folk fans and then no more can.
You know, in recent times, even though they were struggling to win games, they were comfortable with their style of play under this new coach. I even met Abubakar Ouattara. We spoke for like 30 minutes. He was talking a lot of things about our coverage and what we are doing here and the kind of discussion we are doing. And maybe after the season, he may come here. So we were discussing a lot of things. And supporters are comfortable with the style of leadership or their branch in the House of Folk team. How managing, even at the time they are not getting wins in the Ghana Premier League, they were comfortable with him. So it tells you the supporters, the playing body, and the management and the board have confidence in Abubakar Ouattara. This season may not be their season, but on one new opportunity, and the team look up pre-season, extra 1 or 2 players to augment the squad. I think under this new coach, Hearts team will go.
It seems Abubakar Ouattara, the Hearts of Folk coach, is someone that believes a lot in his philosophy. Despite the fact that Hearts had gone 3 games without a win, you could see that the pattern of play had not changed. It remained the same, and even in this game, you could see this is a typical Abubakar Ouattara side. Nothing changes.
Yeah, of course, but Mutala, I'm yet to find a well-established, achieved coach who doesn't believe in the system. It's very, very rare. You need to, and that's why sometimes fans cry out that coaches are being stubborn. It's because they do not want to change their system. They believe in what they are bringing. They know that yes, it might take time to implement all those culture and philosophy, but then when it gets going, they start reaping the results. And that's why all over Europe sometimes we feel teams are being lenient with coaches. It's because they feel they need time to implement what they have. So for Abubakar Ouattara, it's good that after struggling for about 15 weeks, he comes in, or 17 weeks, he comes in and he makes the fans believe that we are headed the right direction. We only need your support to do what we are doing. And the fans have watched Hearts of Folk play. In the games they lost against Samatex, Bibiani GoldStars, Mediama, it wasn't like they were bad. They were not bad on the day. It was just down to some individual errors that made them lose those games. So the coach is quite confident that I know what I'm bringing to the table. I'm the man in charge. All you have to do is to win the hearts of the fans. And already after 8 games, he's been able to do that. The fans believe in Ouattara. They believe in what he is bringing. And that's why you wouldn't hear anyone criticize Ouattara even when Hearts of Folk are losing. And, that response in that game against Karela was just the perfect response he had to give to the Hearts of Folk fans. Because with time, you'd believe they were beginning to grow impatient. But then with that win, it just stabilizes everything. Just, restore some calmness within the club. And it gives them what they need going into the next game.
Nanedu, just 30 seconds, regardless of how or where Hearts of Folk finish this season, what should they change about the team next season? One thing that they should change about the team.
I think they need, one natural leader at the heart of their central defense. They lose normal. The winning could be a possible partnership. It looks normal.
But they have a Frane, they have a CB as well.
They would need that, Razak Kasim type of defense. Ismail Gani type of defense. They will need somebody who is naturally a leader at the back to help the cause of their central defense. It looks like that is one area they need to touch. And when you look at the attack, first I need Nabesi Hamza Issa. They will look at somebody who can help complement the effort of Hamza Issa. Kasara Ramos Bayern, to me and Sedan, they are still struggling with him. Kasim Sise, he scored a goal against Nswatremai, he's off. Where is Issa Kuka? All of a sudden he's off. So it tells you the striking department, apart from Hamza Issa, nothing is clicking out front for Hearts of Folk. So it tells you going forward, it's one area they need to target. What's your style of play in this one? It looks like they don't have natural wingers in the team. They have offensive midfielders. Suraj Seidu is an offensive midfielder, but Dio is an offensive midfielder. Martin Kakari, offensive midfielder, but they would need a natural winger to the end. He can move into space, cross the ball into the 18-yard, but we can see Hamza Issa is a typical movement striker. More assists in the 18-yard box will help Hearts of Folk team. So going forward, these are key areas they need to sign players to help the Hearts of Folk team.
Well, I'm sure Hearts of Folk have heard it. Dr. Nahonyama Tamaklu, I'm sure he's watching this afternoon and he'll forward this to the likes of Togbra Further to act on it. So that is Hearts of Folk and how they won their game against Karela. But for Asante Kotoko, what is happening? They keep sinking low and low. Prosper Natiogum might have to find the antidote to dig Asante Kotoko out of the ditch that they find themselves currently. These are the statistics for Prosper Natiogum ever since he made that return back to the red half of Kumasi. He's played about 26 games, and I mean, he's lost a lot of these games in there. So the last 10 games that he's played, have seen him lose a lot in there. He lost against Karela, he lost a 3-2 against Accra Lions, he lost against Indiana, then he lost against Nations FC. He got a draw against Bibiani United. It looked like Kotoko were finding their feet, but then the last 2 games have all ended in a defeat. And I'm sure the most painful one will be that 2-1 defeat to in Swatamana at the Barbera Sports Stadium. Yesterday saw Kotoko sink further as they lost their 6th game of the second round. They've played 7 games in the second round, drawn 1 and losses. Josiah, things are not looking good for Prosper Natoguma and Kotoko.
It's the worst kind of form you could ever imagine Kotoko to be in. Mutala, in their last 10 games, out of an available 30 points, they've been able to pick up just 7. 7 out of 30.
I'm not cutting you. I don't know if we can get that post-match interview that David Oklu did. I mean, it summed up everything that is wrong with Asante Kotoko.
And I think if you should consider the table for just the second round, the number of games, they've picked up the least number of points as compared to the other.
Just 1 point.
I think 1 win. Okay. And then so the whole of the second round, they pick up just 4 points. The whole of the second round. It is worse than any other team, the likes of Heart of Lions, RTU, Karela, with all due respect to these teams. But Kotoko have got the worst record in the Premier League in the second round. That tells you the state in which they are. But then, Mutala, the question is, who is to blame for this, sudden fall of the club? Who do you blame? Where do you lay the blames? And I don't think it's just one person you can blame, but maybe looking at how things have been run at the club, you should be pointing fingers at all the people.
Can you really blame someone for the woes that Kotoko are in? Because I listened to David Oklu, time without number, and he himself, it seems he doesn't really know where the problem lies.
Every coach at some point has found themselves in such a situation where they don't know where the issue is, and you ask them and they just sit aloof at press conference because they don't know what to say and who to point at. But then, Mutala, there's a lot happening to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Let's not make any mistake about that. But then also, let's not also forget that if they were winning, things would have been calmer than it is now. So it means that on the pitch, they're also not doing something right. Maybe you could say the direction of the club is not so known. No one knows where the club is going because the club is still run by an interim management. But then on the pitch, ask yourself that are they doing the right things? What are they not doing right? Is it player selection? Is it player confidence? Is it players not trying to play for the coach? Are the players beginning to down their tools? Are they trying to sabotage the head coach? These are genuine questions we should be asking because
it looks like psychologically the players
we've seen it before.
Have just given up.
Players know how to get coaches out of their post. They are so good at it. Maybe you could say the players are not willing to play anymore, but then if you can question the mentality of these players and ask yourself that are these players ready to play for Kotoko? Because most of the fans will question their attitude on the field of play. You talk about Hearts of Oak, they were losing. They ended a 3-game losing streak against Karela, but then not even a single fan questioned the attitude of the players because even when they were losing, they were putting up a fight. Can you say the same about the Kotoko players? Where in the last 7 games they've played, they've lost 6 and drawn just 1.
Well, Nanedu, in situations like this, it is very easy to point a finger at the coach and say, yes, the head coach needs to leave his post. But you watch the attitude of the Kotoko players, and it's not like these players are really fighting for the badge.
Mutala, in my journey as a journalist, one thing I don't joke with is inside that coach. Other than say the Cup Amini Stadium, no.
Yeah.
Only 2 or 3 games, you are sacked. That is why Sedu went to Adakojati to sack him. Nobody complaining as Asante Kotoko. I don't know the reason why. Second round, when we need only 1 game, Prosper Nete Ogum is still the head coach for Kotoko by this time. Why?
He's part of the IMC.
Why is Prosper Nete Ogum still coaching Kotoko at this time?
Why are you not looking beyond just the head coach and looking at the attitude of the players on the pitch? The caliber of players they have as well.
Mutala,
is not the factor.
When you look at the teams in the relegation zone, the Autosys team, the point between them and Asante Kotoko is just 3 points.
That is Karela United, who lies 16th with 30 points.
30 points. Asante Kotoko 33 points.
Otos 11.
So you can lose to Samatex and drop to relegation zone. Then you don't want to sacrifice somebody. Things need to be done within the club. They need to take bold decisions to help the club. Support is an injury. Coach Marco, main grantee interview. I'll let my assistant coach grant interview. Even at the time the team is struggling.
Why you expect him to come out and talk?
Obviously. You speak your mind.
But David Oklu is doing the talking.
Oklu is speaking his mind. The coach will have to speak his mind to the supporters. What is going on within the club? Then they want to hear your voice. But radio social now kasa. A sign of disrespect to the club. Grant interview. Speak to the supporters. Leaders of the club want to hear from you. Not the assistant coach.
I said Oklu Cassette said he prosper and I'm prosper so no Casado because he is also communicating.
The head coach is there. Speak your mind to the supporters. Something is wrong. The last game, Asante Sadakado, he scored a brilliant goal. What about you bend the player again? You kill his confidence. We know players are injured. Westman Lamte is injured. Michael Chejamna is injured. Sharif Muhammad is injured. There is no justice play. But it's not an excuse to Kotoko. Yes, Kotoko. Now the issue, people are discussing it. First, when you say Kotoko is playing a football match, a straight win. But people within the club are quiet because it's sportsman at Ogum. He was appointed by Mensia, so they are quiet. It's not Kotoko.
This is what?
Somebody need to speak to somebody. They need to make sacrifice within the club. And the sacrifice is Prosper Netogum now. He cannot play the team from now to the end of the season. And yes, Kotoko will be in the relegation zone.
Well, I'll come back to you, but Josiah, Nanedu is overzealous with this issue. And I understand his emotions because Kotoko is a big club. So when things like this are happening to them, it's sad.
Would you believe that out of the 9 games they played in the second round, they've won just 1? They've lost 7. That's the most out of all the teams. They've lost 7. The next team to have lost the most is RTU, who have lost just 5. So Kotoko has lost 7 games in the second round. Now they have just 4 points as compared in the second round, as compared to Bibiani GoldStars, who has 17 points in the second round. Even Hearts of Oak, all of a sudden, have 14 points. That's the lowest you have in the league. In the second round, they have only 4 points from an available 27. That's how bad it is. And you just look at the table now. Kotoko were just miles away. See, when it comes to point, they had so much points, more than Bibiani GoldStars. After the end of the first round, if you look at the table, now look at where Bibiani GoldStars find themselves.
In fact, between Kotoko and the team are not that first on the league log, the point was less than 5 before the first round.
So all of a sudden, just look at what 9 games in the second round has done to the Porcupine Warriors. But that's why I understand why Nanedu is peeved, because there's been precedents earlier on. We've seen coaches lose their jobs because they didn't even coach the team,
to this extent.
No, this is even worse than.
Remember, legend, this coach for Swatreman, Master Knodu.
Yeah.
He played just 3 or 4 games, and
he was sacked.
And he was struggling to win games.
I remember.
A man for sacking Oklahoma, and everybody was quiet. People were complaining that coach, at this moment. Coach struggled to win games in the second round. We're winning only 1 game against Bibiani GoldStars. Ogum is still there, and people are quiet.
Okay.
Because they are appointing me Mencia. People cannot complain.
Well,
it's because it's Prosper Ogum.
Prosper Nati Ogum is under some intense fire. His first coming was a good one. He oversaw Kotoko win the league in some fantastic fashion. But this time, things are not really moving right for him and Asante Kotoko. And he will need the team to play above themselves if they really want to move further away from the relegation zone. Between Bofuakwa Tano, who are 16th, and Asante Kotoko is just 3 points. And they seem not to find an antidote to their problem. But let's look at today's fixture. It is a big one. The Accra Sports Stadium, Accra Lions against Bibiani GoldStars. And both teams are already out warming up for this big one. Accra Lions in fantastic fashion. I mean, the fortunes of Accra Lions and Asante Kotoko, as Abu Ibra, is in contrast. They are having a good second round until that defeat to Heart of Lions. This time, they are taking on a Bibiani GoldStars team who beat Heart of Folk at this venue just some 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's one of the most exciting teams to watch in the Ghana Premier League. There's a team with a very, I'd say they have the youngest squad in the league. They play with teenagers, they play with young talent, you know, but then their quality, Mutala, has never been in doubt. And there's a team that in the last couple of seasons, since they earned promotion to the top flight, even in the middle of the season or in the course of the season, they do lose some of their key players. But then each and every time, they are able to find a replacement. And the replacement even proved to be, you know, a quality addition to the team. And then just look at these young boys. Esuman, you know, the likes of Apiga, Shokan, Afo, Asante, Hamzata. Just kids. And I always say that any team that comes up against Accra Lions, regardless of your form, regardless of your quality or your pedigree, you should always be on the alert, because this is a team that can surprise you at any time. We saw how they traveled to the Barbara Sports Stadium and they beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko in that 5-goal thriller. They go into games with zero pressure. And that has been something that has been, you know, synonymous with them since they end promotion. They don't let the pressure of the league just weigh them down. And there's a team that went through a very rough patch when the season started, if you remember. And they lost back-to-back games at the Accra Sports Stadium. And this is how good they've been in the second round. That's one of the most informed teams in the second round, if you should ask me. And it's all because they just knew how to deal with their problems. It's not like Accra Lions never encountered any problems in this particular season. They had their own problems. But then it was about how they came together as a team collectively to solve these problems. And just look at how there's very little noise whenever they play. Even when things are not going well, you hear people, or you barely hear anyone even talk about them. And that's how good they are as a team.
Now, Accra Lions are one of those clubs who seem to be working hard in silence, not too much noise about them. And you think that is what is aiding them to do well in the Ghana Premier League?
I think they are not playing under any pressure.
No expectation for them to win the Premier League.
The most important thing is, you know, maintain the Premier League status, you know, so that, you know, the following season we will see Accra Lions still playing the Premier League. That is the most important thing. Playing a team like Accra Lions. Look at their team last season. Almost about 50% of the players were sold out. But they were able to replace them with quality, and they are still playing well in the Ghana Premier League. Last season, key players were in Sobila, Abbas Samari. This particular season, there are other players who are doing well for the club. Shokan, and the winger who scored that important goal against Asante Kotoko. He's doing well for the club. So it tells you, Flyer Bifuru, they have a way of getting quality player to replace that particular player in the team. And that is working for the Accra Lions team. And Ibrahim Tango has been consistent in selecting quality players and young guys to play against any opposition in the Ghana Premier League. And this particular second round, they'll be scoring goals for fun. Averagely, per their games, they find a way to score at least 2 goals in their games. And they are beating big teams. They won against Mediema. They won against Asante Kotoko in Kumasi. Big teams are coming to the Accra Sports Stadium. They struggle to play against a team like Accra Lions. And I think Ibrahim Tanko and the people around Accra Lions have done a great job. That is why they are doing well in the Premier League. Bibiani GoldStars, one of the informed teams currently in the second round. The last time they came to Accra, won by a slim margin against Hearts of Folk. They went back, 1-3-2. They are now back to Accra again, and they are doing something great under, you know, Mr. Kwesiedu and Frimpong Manson. Yeah. Bibiani GoldStars is also doing well in the Premier League.
Of course, Bibiani GoldStars are also doing well in the Premier League, and their last 2 games have seen them win back-to-back games against Accra to Folk, and they went back to also pick 3 points at the Dance Park. This time, they are coming to face Accra Lions. It's a very tricky test for them, but this is the form guide of Bibiani GoldStars also going into the game. Their last 5 games had seen them drawn 2-2 with RTU away from home. Then they had a 2-1 victory over Bofuakwa Tano. Heart of Lions held them to a 2-2 draw before they got a 1-0 victory over Heart of Folk, and their last game was a 3-2 win over Harela. Josiah, they are coming into this one with a lot of confidence.
So much confidence in one picture, Mutala. 11 points from 15 in their last 5 games. That's how good the Bibiani GoldStars team. And credit to Frimpong Manso. This is a coach that, really started so well with Tanobo Fakwa at some point, and we thought they were going to challenge for the league.
It is like yesterday when Michael Osei left post and we're speaking to Kwesiedo on Max 89.7 FM when Michael they appointed Frimpong Manso. So it was like, was it really going to work? But I can tell you,
I think Michael Osei and Frimpong Manso, all Kotoko legends, and they are doing well in the Premier League. Karim Zito and Maso Ekludu, Kotoko legends, and they are doing well in the Premier League.
So what points are you driving at?
Like I was saying, I think he showed some promise. He showed some quality during his time with Tanobo Fakwa. We saw what he has within his arsenal. But then I think that the Tanobo Fakwa marriage didn't really end as we all thought. We thought it was going to be that fairy tale ending for him with that team. But then he moves to Bibiani GoldStars and he changes the fortunes of this team that were struggling in the first round. But then just look at that.
So this is their last 5 away matches. Yeah. They lost 3-2 to Dreams, 3-0 to Dreams. Then they lost 1-0 to Asante Kotoko. I think it was the start of the second round. Yeah. Then they drew 2-2 with Real Tamale United. They also drew 2-2 with Heart of Lions. But their last away game is at the venue that they will be playing today. That is the Accra Sports Stadium. It ended. Enjoy for them.
Exactly. And if you are traveling back to a grounds where the last night you played there, you were able to pick some points, Mutala, I think that's enough confidence for you if you're going there. But then it's just the opposition that has changed. You're coming up against this young, very energetic and very vibrant Accra Lions side who do not fear anyone at all in this league. They are one of the few teams to have traveled to Ediana to win over there. So
the second round also started well for Accra Lions. These are the last 5 games that they've also played in the run-up to this clash against Bibiani GoldStars. They won 1-0 against Great Olympics before losing 1-0 to RTU. Then they also pipped Mediama by a goal to nil. Pipped Bofokwa by a goal to nil and lost 2-0 to Heart of Lions. Now they do. Accra Lions seem to be scoring. They are on a 1-goal project in their last few games that they've played.
And the most important thing is to get the 3 points.
Yeah, that is the Ghana Premier.
9 points out of 40.
Criticize you almost say. And your boy FN Premier League. They should realize you can play the beautiful football, but if you not get 3 points in any of the games,
yeah.
And it seems they've learned from that.
Absolutely, and they are getting points that will make them safe. On the league log, that is the most important. And be in a respectable position. Accra a season like this, and they are 6th, 5th, 4th on the league log. It's a good season for them.
You think so?
Yes. Looking at the kind of players they have and the young ones that they are having.
And the project that they are on.
Most of the time, they want to give players exposure and make sure they give them opportunity outside the country.
So it's just about grooming and selling the players, but they want to maintain their status in the league.
Absolutely. So in recent times, you like Luther Matthias, Ismail, and the people around the team. That is what they've been doing. And Ibrahim Tanko find a way to get quality players to replace those players in the team. That is helping the Accra Lions team. We were talking about this team last season. The players who were very influential in the team. Look at the players who are very influential this particular season. Different faces. And that is one thing helping them doing well in the Ghana Premier League. I will not be surprised by the end of the day they will get a good result against Bibiani GoldStars.
Of course, and the likes of Abbas, Samari Munyina, they've paid their dues, and these days we don't see them even closer to the team. They almost have a new player every match day week. You would see one name that you've not seen for some time now. But that is Bibiani GoldStars. Also on your screens there, Yakubu Hack, one of the players warming up. Ronald Frimpong is also with them. Bibiani GoldStars have also had a good second round. Just about 3 victories, and their fortunes have even changed on the Ghana Premier League table. Currently, Prince Kwabena Wusu is their top scorer. This man cannot even get into the team anymore. Abednego Tete, he was the top scorer in the Ghana Premier League last season. He went away, came back, and finding it difficult to get a place. Yeah. When we talk about players, a team with a huge squad, Bibiani GoldStars are up there.
Yeah, Mutala, and it's not just about having the pool of talent, but then also creating competition, amongst them. And if you have this set of players and a player with so much quality like Asante Kotoko is not able to break into the starting 11, that should tell you that something has really changed. I think they prepared for life after him. They really prepared for life after him. They built their team around Aso. And I remember under Michael said when Alex Aso wasn't scoring, he always, came out to defend him, say, see, he's a hard-working striker. We didn't buy him just because of the goals. Yeah, we know that he's filling the shoes of someone who was scoring goals, but then Alex Aso is not just about the goals. And trust me, every time Alex Aso has played, featured for Bibiani GoldStars, you could see the difference, that he's not built in the Zlatan, Abednego Tete, mode, but then he is also a different player altogether. He scored 5 goals. He's their second top scorer in the league this season. Prince Kwabnosu has scored the most goals for them this season. But then you can see the competition they've created in the team. Look at someone like Eric Bosumchi. He came on to score a spectacular goal against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. How many times does he even start games? Ronald Frimpong also came in. He scored a hat-trick for the team a couple of months ago. How many times do you see him break into the 11 and start games? That is a culture now at Bibiani GoldStars. That's how things has changed over the last couple of months in this club, and all thanks to the man who is just leading, the adventure for them. Frimpong Manso, he's just known how to get the best out of these players, and you can look at their players, and you wouldn't find the big names in there. Yes, they had this defender from Mediema. Your Vincent Atinga Adai also joined. He joined with so much, quality and also leadership at the back. But then look at the likes of Ofori Makati, Apia Makati.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the team they have, and you wouldn't say it's quality throughout, but then it's about the coach building a very, very solid team, from the available material he has, and they are responding to the coach. They are responding so well to Frimpong Manso's
let's look at the head-to-head of the two sides going into this one, and the last 5 games that they've played between them saw Bibiani GoldStars beat Accra Lions 2-0 in 2021, and Lions retained the favor with a 1-0 victory over them. Then their next game in 2023 ended a 2-2 draw, and the reverse fixture ended goalless. This season they've met once. It was at the Dance Park, and the game ended 1-1. Remember that the Ghana Premier League live on Star Times and Max TV is brought to you by SoccerBet, Hisense, Midima for Herbal Clinic, and supported by JB Fresh Juice. We take a quick break. When we return, we look at the lineup of the two sides. Don't go nowhere. Make us a more on GPO headquarters. Asa, the body agenda, when you live match. Unya agenda probably I say live match. Of course, on my share. On my share. I say, oh yeah. we are looking at wrapping up match day 26 of the Ghana Premier League today at the Accra Sports Stadium, and it's Accra Lions who are coming up against Bibiani GoldStars in this big one there, and we are all hoping that we are going to have some goals to entertain us this afternoon, and we are just a few minutes away from kickoff at the Accra Sports Stadium. But you know that match day 26 of the Ghana Premier League started on Saturday, and about 8 matches have already been played. Heart of Oak getting that 3-1 victory over Karela, with Bibiani also beating Heart of Lions. Bechem United beating RTU by 3-2, and Asante Kotoko losing their 6th game of the second round as they succumb to a 2-0 defeat to Dreams FC. Mediama also beating Legon Cities by a goal to Neo Nations FC, drew 2-2 with Bofo Akwatano in Swaterman, drew 1-0 with Great Olympics, and Samatex extended their lead at the top of the table with a 3-2 victory over Brekum Chelsea. In a few minutes time, we will be at the Accra Sports Stadium because Accra Lions will be taking on Bibiani GoldStars. But first off, let's go and have a listen to the two managers and what they will be telling us, starting with Accra Lions.
Hi Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
After today's game is going to be the end of match day 26. I want to find out from you your general impression about this season's Premier League.
I mean, very tough as usual. And when you look at the second round, I mean, you could see big clubs struggling, and yeah, and every week is very important to any club. So definitely it's very, very tough, and I think we are going to have another 8 or 9 tough games till the end.
And how would you describe the performance of Accra Lions so far?
I mean, so far so good. We lost 2 games in the second round, which we are not happy, and I'm sure that today we have to put on positive game and then positive results so that we'll climb up.
Your approach has always been all attacking, not trying to lay back. GoldStars visited here the other time and beat Accra Hearts of Oak. They are positive and they say they want to come attacking at you guys today.
Yeah, I mean, then it's good for us. It's going to be a full attacking games. We hope they will attack us. Definitely, like you said, we are going to play on our own game and then at the end and try to get the points here.
You think your side have got what it takes to beat them here?
Sure.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Hi Coach, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
There seems to be some positive vibe around this team, especially since the second round began. What have you been doing right?
Yeah, a lot of things. Before the start of the second round, we took time, take them through a lot of works, and then in terms of their confidence, we've also psyched them. So gradually they've come to understand certain things that we demand from them. So for me, I think now our psyche, everything is now okay now. Yeah.
And you must be impressed with every department since you are flourishing, especially in attack these days.
Yeah, to some extent, but then there are still some lapses we need to correct going forward. I think so far, yes, we are happy with their performance, but then we still can improve. Yeah.
Your last visit here was the beginning of your success in away games. You went back home, you did the job. What's going to be your approach to this game against an Accra Lions side who don't seem to sit back but always come attacking?
Yeah, they're a good side, no doubt. Technically, they've got players who can hold on to the ball, who can pass, yes. But then we are also here to also try and get something. It's not that we're going to sit, not at all. We're going to also try to attack if there's the need be. But I think we will try to fight for a win. Yeah.
When you took over the job, Jemfi Kamara was struggling for form. These days he seems to be coming into the picture. What kind of role is he playing in your team?
Yeah, you know, he's one of the guys who can hold on to the ball, try to give those penetrative passes to the attackers. But then when I came, his condition was a little bit down, so we had to take him through a lot of work, and then I think now he's gained the confidence, and then also his condition has also improved. So he's one of the key players we're going to depend on now.
Will GoldStars win?
Yeah, that's what we are here for.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely both managers are eyeing the 3-point, but let's go through the lineup of the two teams quickly, starting with the home team, that is Accra Lions. So they have Andrews also in post for them. Shokan Nauf Mohammed is the captain of the side today. David Odro is playing. Ali Mohammed Yaya, Daniel Kwame Awuni, Musa Hamzata, Isa Ibrahim, Baba Salifu Apiga is also in the Dominican Post, and of course Blessing Suman Adakwa. These are the players starting for Accra Lions. And for Bibiani GoldStars, it is NS Kusi who is in post for them, and he is captain of the side today because there's no Prince Kwabena also in the starting 11. Alexa Saw is also in the Emmanuel Odai, Mauli Wayo, Amankwa Frank, Emmanuel Appel, Eric Bosumche, who scored a wonderful goal against Kotoko, is starting today. Yaya Adraman, Charles Jemfi Kamara, Vincent Adai Atinga, and of course Gideon Anaba. These are the first 11 for both sides, Josiah.
Yeah, tough lineup from both teams, but then that's your man over the last season's top scorer. But then you look at the Lions setup, and Mutala, there's a strong setup from the head coach, and I think they would go with the pivot of Shokan and then also Baba Salifu Apiga. But then Mutala, I think it's about time we really took a careful look at that number 4 player for Accra Lions. That's Ali Mohammed. He's on 4 goals already and one of the highest scoring centre backs in the league, and he's been rock solid for them the whole of this season, and they've always counted on him, and he started every single game they've played this season because he always stays injury free. And I've always said and advocated that if you want to build a solid team, you need to have a very, very strong defense, and that's the basis on which this Accra Lions team is being built. On the shoulders of this young defender who will be partnering Hamzata in the heart of the defense, and then David Odro and then Isa Ibrahim who will be playing from that flanks. But then also that threat will be posed with Yaya Mohammed and then also Isuman Dankwa and Awuni striking or attacking from either flanks, and then also Dominic Ambonsa, whom we all know his quality, very, very, very quality player, playing right behind Mohamed Yaya in that setup. And that's a cup of young players over there. You just can't see them. Talented young players with so much quality. And that's Hamzata, and then the defender I was talking about, that Ali Mohammed, always reliable for the side. And the good thing is the fact that Mutala, I've said it here, that they play with no pressure on them, regardless who the opposition is, and they never change the game plan. They never change their style of play. They always want to possess. They always want to move the ball around, try to draw you out of your shells, and then hit you with that sucker punch. And that's what they did to Asante Kotoko when they visited the Barbara Sports Stadium. It was just their style of play is just clear, and they never change it.
Nanedu, these days it seems that the number 1 name on the team list is Alex Aso. As a performance of Penasempa.
Yeah, I think one of the best players in their team in recent times.
He works tirelessly.
When they came to Accra, he had a good game against Hasselhoff. So once a player like this in the team, you find a way to always be in the first 11, and it's working for Bibiani GoldStars. We were talking about the quality of players we have in their team in recent times, and he's one of the players who's working hard. Against Hasselhoff, he was all over the pitch, running from all angles, helping Bibiani GoldStars to hold on to the 1-0 goal that they scored against Hasselhoff. So, Alex Aso is one of the key players, and I think that is very important for Bibiani.
But they have their top scorer on the bench, Prince Kwabena Usu.
Yes, you were talking about it earlier on that because of they already built the team around a certain players. That is the reason why Abenduko came in later. He couldn't find his way into the first 11. Because already Prince Kwabena also was playing some good football before he came, and all these players are front. There's a lot of competition in that team. In recent times, even their captain Yakubu Haq struggled to enter into the first 11 because of what Atinga and some of these players are doing for the club. You remember they still have Mpem Da Costa, probably of Karela as good.
Actually, their bench in front of me is one of the strongest I've seen in the Premier League. Mpem Da Costa is on the bench. Samuel Amufa is on the bench for them. Prince Kwabena Usu, William Intori Denchi, Yawosei, Ronald Frimpong, Godfred Che, Yakubu Haq, and Abednego Tete.
About 50% of these players on the bench was starting Asante Kotoko. 50% of the players.
And the Kotoko, why are you on their case?
50% 50% of the players who are on the bench of Bibiani GoldStars will start in Kotoko. Yakubu Hak is a quality player. Empem Da Costa is a quality player. Kumasi boy. A player like William Denchi. Kotoko has used about 3 or 4 different players in the left back position. This is a player on the bench. So they have a rich bench who can come in the second half, make a difference for Bibiani GoldStars in their game against Accra. So I'm happy with their squad, and I'm sure Frimpong Mans will be comfortable with a squad like this. That will bring the best out of this team. So Bibiani GoldStars like this will be in a respectable position, and that will be good for Mr. Kofi Edu and of course Frimpong Mans.
For Accra Lions, they also have, remember, Adomako Boateng on the bench, Abdul Shakun Abubakari, Ivan Kwachi Osei, Richard Ajin, Daniel Afo, the goalkeeper, Isa Hussein, Edmond Amachi, Frederick Asante, and of course Lawrence Setoji also on the bench for them. So they also have some quality that they can call upon.
Yeah, they do, and guess where a win will take them today? Straight to at least that fifth position. They could overtake Bichim United over there, and there's a team that you'd say, yes, they have their core mandate. They have, I would say what the objectives are, to groom players and try and make them ready for the bigger market. But then also maintaining or retaining their Premier League status is also key for them, because they know what it means to play in the Ghana Premier League. They know that for them to also break boundaries and, move far as a club, they really need to maintain that status.
So quick prediction before we go. Who wins?
It will be talk about the Accra Lions have the edge.
Nanedu?
A full-time draw.
Okay, so let's cross over to the Accra Sports Stadium for the first half of this game. It is Accra Lions who are hosting Bibiani GoldStars. See you after the first 45 minutes.
Hello, welcome to the Accra Sports Stadium. It's the last game to wrap up match day 26 of the Ghana Premier